Today, I'm announcing my candidacy for mayor in the November election. Now, many of you will recall I ran in the by-election last November, and I decided to run because I felt there was a clear lack of leadership and decision-making, sound decision-making, being shown by the mayor over the Blue Bridge replacement project. Since then, I have had numerous meetings with community, or members of the community. I've sat in meetings at council. I've reviewed city plans and city budgets for this year. I've reviewed financial statements from previous years. And the one overriding conclusion I've reached is we're in much more serious trouble than I ever anticipated. The challenges we face are due to the fact that the present council lacks a clear vision and effective leadership. The result of this is indecisiveness, waste, and missed opportunities, as we've seen with the Blue Bridge, and as we're seeing now with the ENN rail link, the city's crumbling infrastructure, our shrinking downtown business economy and community, a lack of affordable housing across our city, and forecasted tax increases of over 20% for the next 5 years. Now, council has publicly admitted, for example, that it can't go on pretending to balance its budget by putting off vital infrastructure repairs and improvements. I've had members of council come up to me and plead with solutions in terms of how to deal with the financial situation they're in. Yet it still has no concrete plan how to deal with this serious problem. On the contrary, our mayor has been going around the community this spring asking the public to suggest what can be done. I don't think that's leadership. He was elected to provide leadership. Is this effective leadership? No. Is this the best that city taxpayers we can expect from someone whose first order of business after being elected in 2008 was to vote himself a 68% increase in compensation? And make no mistake, our city is facing a serious financial crunch. We already have a $500 million gap in our infrastructure budget. Vital community resources, such as our Crystal Pool, the public library, and the art gallery need immediate attention and are not receiving it. Then there are unresolved issues like the sewage treatment plant, the final cost of the Blue Bridge. That scares me because that was a rough estimate. Rising policing costs and the need for a realistic transportation strategy. Meanwhile, our downtown core, the city's economic engine, is steadily being eroded by competitive threats from neighboring communities, such as the new Uptown Square and the big box stores in the western communities. We have a tourist trade that has been struggling for the past decade and has certainly become overly dependent upon the cruise ship trade. And there's the dangerous perception that downtown Victoria is no longer an attractive and safe place to live, shop, work, and play. It's obvious as well that affordability has become a major threat toward the overall health of our community. Too many families are struggling to make ends meet. Too many businesses whose workers need to live outside of our city. And too many schools who are seeing their enrollments decline as families are forced to move out of town to save money. We can't afford to lose the families and the youth of this city. That's our future.
Hear, hear.
And what is our mayor's response to all of this? A property tax increase of 23% over the next 5 years. I've examined the books. I've examined the budget. I think it's very conservative to think that we can get away with a 23% tax increase over the next 5 years if we keep going the way we are. That could easily double. I still think we need solutions from our mayor, and we're not getting them. I say it's time to put an end to pie-in-the-sky community plans and to rose-colored budget forecasts. What we really need is a plan that puts the city's financial affairs in order. A plan that revitalizes our downtown, the city's economic engine. And a plan that protects our economic and social well-being for future generations. In short, it's time for a mayor who's willing to act with focus and determination. A mayor that's willing to preserve the future of our great city. And action, positive, effective leadership is what I promise to bring to City Hall as Mayor of Victoria. So, what makes me, Paul Brown, feel like I'm up to the job? Good question. It's true, I have no experience in politics. I'm new to politics. And many would say that's actually an asset. I'm not tainted. On the other hand, I've spent 23 years, the past 23 years, working with provincial, state, and territorial governments on vital issues, such as sound governance and sound financial management practices. I not only know how government works, I know how to make it work efficiently, openly, and to get the results we're looking for. In short, my background has given me exactly the kind of knowledge and experience this city needs at this time. I believe in Victoria. It's a great city with so many terrific assets and untapped potential. My wife has lived in Victoria most of her life. I've lived here for the last 23 years. We love our city's charm, its distinct communities and neighborhoods and villages, and its obvious concern for the environment, Steve, and its commitment and concern for the welfare of everyone in our city. And like many others, I've been inspired to contribute and participate to our community. I've been proud to be involved with Big Brothers and Big Sisters for over 15 years and through 5 matches. My wife and I walk the neighborhoods and attend community events and functions regularly and religiously. What concerns me, however, is that our civic leaders are taking our good life here in Victoria too much for granted. We can do better. And we do deserve to do better and have a positive future for the city. As Mayor of Victoria, therefore, I will move on 5 key priorities aimed at restoring fiscal responsibility, transparency, and social health to our city. First, I will dedicate myself to reviving the city's economic engine, our downtown core. I'll reestablish that downtown area as a place to live, as a place to work, as a place to shop, and most importantly, as a place to play. Second, I will ensure that transparency, sound financial, and strict controls are placed and applied to the city's budget planning exercises and its spending. And as part of that transparency, I will ensure there is greater access to City Council records, financial and non-financial records, for the public. Third, I will seek out and implement creative approaches and solutions to dealing with the city's infrastructure challenges and gap by reaching out to all potential partners in the private sector, in the public sector, from other levels of government who are so important to make things work in this city. Fourth, I focus on rebuilding a sense of community across our city by streamlining funding to our community associations, are so important to the fabric of our community, and to neighborhood villages, by continuing our efforts to eliminate homelessness, by preserving green spaces, and by making affordable housing for families a reality. We need to keep the families in the city. We need to keep the kids into this city. They're our future, and we're losing them. And finally, I will work in cooperation with our neighboring communities to ensure that we see regional funding for regional services become a reality. You know, I believe you earn trust by being honest with people and keeping your word. And my experience has shown me that you demonstrate competence and sound judgment and planning, and that you demonstrate fairness by being open about the process, how things are done, listening to the public, and most important, leading by example. And that is the essential message of our campaign. It is about intelligent planning and determination to preserve the future of this magnificent city. I'm asking people to support me as mayor, who will bring leadership with focus and determination to preserve the future of our magnificent city. The time for action is now. We can make it happen, whether you live in Fairfield, James Bay downtown, Fernwood, Oaklands, Burnside Gorge, Vic West, or anywhere in between. This is our opportunity, our moment, to be part of a movement to restore trust, competence, and fairness at City Hall. Let us not miss out on this chance. Keep our city great. We deserve a bright future, and we can have one if we act now and make it happen. I want to thank you again for spending your time with us today. Thank you.